If Christianity is true, why are there so many different denominations, so many different churches? Surely if it was true, it would all just be one big happy church, no differences, no disagreement. Well, this is a good question, and it's quite a common one. But let's apply it consistently across the board. Differences are not really a great test for truth when it comes to difference of expression in things. So think about agnosticism or Buddhism, Islam, basically any big major worldview. There are all differences of expression. Not every single one of them will be agreeing with each other internally, even in the same way the whole time. So differences are not really a test for truth in that sense. But when it comes to Christianity, let me maybe give you just 3 reasons. The first is this, that diversity actually represents the glory of God better than basically a homogeneous group, everyone looking exactly the same. What do I mean by that? There are different people, there are different characters, there are different cultures, different races, different sexes. This is all part of God's great design, and all of us are different, and so we will resonate with different things in different ways. As you read the Bible and you see all these different aspects of Christianity, perhaps based on your personality, you might resonate with one more than another. And so we see that happening across the board in Christianity. There's some people who like really vibrant, loud music, and so you'll get churches that actually reflect that better. Or you'll find people who actually enjoy maybe something a little more reserved, where the singing is a bit different. And so they resonate with churches like that. And so that in part is why you see these things expressed in different ways and coming to those kind of expressions of Christianity. Now, there might be differences of interpretation of, how do we read this or that piece of the Bible, but that too also helps us. And that brings me to the second point. Uniformity is actually not great when it comes to finding and keeping searching for the truth. Actually, it's better to have a diversity when we're trying to reevaluate and continually come closer to what the actual objective truth is. So differences help us protect the quest for truth. But as we go on that quest, we need to have a good and consistent method of interpretation when it comes to the Bible specifically. And that would be what we call a historical grammatical method of interpretation. And so that means actually looking at the text and understanding what the culture was at the time that it was written, and actually what it meant to the original hearers. And as we do that, and as we get better at that, we will then come closer and closer to the truth. But often there are disagreements because sometimes we just don't know. And so that will lead you to groups maybe interpreting different passages in different ways, and ultimately then that expressing itself on a higher degree in different denominations, different churches. The third aspect would be sin. The fact that all of us are actually imperfect. We don't have perfect intellect. Our brains and our minds don't work exactly as they should. And this is a condition of us being finite beings. God is infinite, God knows all, and God is perfect in his understanding. We simply are not. We are created and finite beings. And us being impacted by sin, we don't actually always, first and foremost, seek the truth. So it is true. There are many churches out there that have the banner of Christianity, but actually it seems that many times they're after power, they're after wealth, after success. And this happens not only in Christianity, but across the board, in businesses, in different worldviews. You see the expression of this happening. You see the sinfulness of man being expressed in different ways. And so we need to understand that. We need to grapple with these things and see that, okay, we're not perfect. And so we will come to different and perhaps wrong interpretations of things sometimes. But here's what I'll close with, and that is the core truth of Christianity. As much as you have these different interpretations and expressions which do reflect the glory and the diversity that God has given us, what we need to really focus on are the main key aspects of what Christianity teaches. If we're going to be critical of it, let's be critical of the main thing that we'll see all these churches actually agree on. And then we come to those things and test those. And so that would be this, that God himself entered into life. He entered into this world in the person of Jesus Christ. That he was born of a virgin, that he lived a perfect life, that he died on the cross for our sin, and that 3 days later he rose from the grave and proved the claims that he made in his life, and that is that he indeed is God in the flesh. So I invite you, come and see who Jesus Christ is for yourself. Pick up a Bible, flip to the Gospel of Mark or the Gospel of John in the New Testament. These are accounts of the life of Jesus. And see for yourself. Read them honestly. Dig into it as best as you can and try and interpret it as best as you can and come to your own conclusion. Was this man a liar? Was he a lunatic? Or was he indeed the Lord, God in the flesh, as he claimed to be?